First of all, I want to thank everyone for joining our first Google Hangout with Jeff Baker from Canine Caviar. And if we can real quickly have everyone introduce themselves. We'll start with Anne.
Oh, hi, I'm Ann Dulles, and some of you know me. I do some work for Canine Caviar.
Wonderful, thank you. Thank you for being with us today. And I think I see Monica. Oh, and Risha, how are you? Do you have your, are you muted or?
Hear them.
I think they might be muted. We can't hear you, Monica.
How do I do that 1/3 thing across the bottom menu?
Nope, still can't hear you. So we're going to skip over it and say hi to Tiffany. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Thanks for joining us today. So we are going to actually be hearing from Jeff talk about the benefits of an alkaline pet food. And you're free to ask him a question, and I'll kind of start it off and have him give sort of a real quick overview of Canine Caviar and kind of why they chose to use an alkaline-based, grain-free pet food.
We solved our problem. I think you can hear us now.
Yes.
Okay.
How did you get the blue name on your screen?
Oh, we could do I'll do a 101 hangout afterwards.
Perfect.
So we'll let you take it away, Jeff. Talk about Canine Caviar and the importance of using an alkaline-based formula.
Actually, nobody can hear me.
No, we can hear you.
Yes, we can.
Oh, okay. It says that my microphone is muted by default for some reason, so.
Nope.
Oh, how did she get there?
Yeah.
The power of technology.
Screen jumping.
That'd be funny.
I'm gonna pop into all of your
Oh my God!
screens.
Look, she's in Dawn.
Not coming up. So I'm gonna let you talk.
No problem. Okay, where are we starting, I guess? Oh, okay, perfect.
Want to get us in there? Do you want to get your?
Okay, back at my screen. So, Jeff, why don't you tell everyone a little bit about Canine Caviar and why you decided to use an alkaline, grain-free based pet food, or create it?
Well, Canine Caviar was started in 1996, and the original idea came from while I was working as a research scientist in Germany. We were contracted to develop a pet medication that would get rid of the fleas, and during this process we discovered that that our own Great Dane was allergic. Problems? No, So we discovered that there were problems with our own Great Dane. He would go into anaphylactic shock if he was bitten by a bee or an ant or spider, and we used to think that he was just allergic to the venom from those insects. And the problem when we started doing this research project is that when you created this flea medication, we had to buy different kinds of pet food on the market and break them down, and we would draw some blood from my own Great Dane at the time, and realized later on that it wasn't that he was allergic to the venom, he was allergic to a chemical reaction between the chemicals that were in the food and the venom. And so what we did is we actually originally made those diets for our dog in Germany, and we would go to the market on every Saturday and buy the ingredients and bake them in the oven, and then just break them up and feed him throughout the week because we didn't have time to make his food every day. And we don't necessarily believe in grain or grain-free. What we really believe in more is simple carbohydrates versus complex carbohydrates, right? Because in today's world, everybody's grain or grain-free. Well, it doesn't really matter, right? It really all breaks down to either simple carbohydrates or complex carbohydrates. I mean, I would sooner use something like brown rice or pearl millet than I would use potato or tapioca, which is a simple carbohydrate, which is in 95% of all grain-free diets. I mean, we also have grain-free diets, and in those diets we'll use either split pea or chickpea.
And it's, I know that it's called Canine Caviar, but you actually serve, I guess it could be served. You actually have another product line other than for dogs.
Yes, we do both canine and feline caviar. And we're a full-line manufacturer. We have treats, we have supplements, we have food, we have cans. And all of our diets, all of our diets are single protein, single carbohydrate, with the protein being the first ingredient. I do believe that we are the only pet food on the market that offers that. And we are the only alkaline-based pet food as well. And the advantage of an alkaline-based pet food is that it puts more oxygen in the blood so that the DNA self-recovery mechanism functions more efficiently. Basically what that means is that the dog's immune system is stronger and his age is at a slower rate. And his internal organs work more efficient.
Did we have anyone who would like to ask Jeff a question? I know that some of you, or all of you actually, use Canine Caviar for your pets.
Yes, and we really appreciate that. Thank you guys so much for your support.
Marisa, your pet actually uses Canine Caviar, correct?
Yes.
And can you maybe
bully, and she had a really bare belly, and so I was washing her every day. And Dawn said, "Try this food," and I said, "Okay." And I think it was about 4 weeks later, the hair, she's got a full set of hair on her belly and it's soft as silk. Yeah.
Wow.
No ear infections. Yeah, she's doing really well.
And is that typical, Jeff, or is the changes or the improvements that pet owners see specific to their dog or cat?
It's generally specific to their dog or cat, and generally what will happen is that actually the dog will sometimes get a little bit worse, or he'll have more of an odor because the pet is actually detoxifying. And once we get rid of all those toxins out of the body, then we can really start to regenerate that body and from the inside out. And the difference between, say, a holistic diet and a Western medicine is that there's so many holistic diets out on the market today, but we were the original true holistic pet food out there. And what that really means is treating the body from the inside out instead of from the outside in. In Western medicine, we get a headache, we take an aspirin. But we get rid of the headache, but we really don't know why we get the headache. And then Eastern medicine, you really go to the root of the problem and figure out why you get the headache so you don't get the headache anymore. And our food is really all about that, working from the inside out.
And I know that in sort of media, there's more talk about alkaline diets in humans. Is it the same benefit both for humans and pets?
Yeah, I mean, we've been preaching the same message for 17 years now. It's just that 17 years ago, people didn't even understand what alkaline meant, other than the fact that they had fish, right? If you don't get the right pH in your fish tank, your fish are dead in the morning. So luckily, we as humans and pets, we have more than one day to figure it out.
So if I had a pet that I was going to switch over, because I know that you hear a lot in the news, people say, you should stick to one dog food all the time or one cat food all the time. One, is that accurate? And two, how long will it take for your pet to detox?
Well, it depends on the pet, right? I mean, how clogged their lymphatic system is, or what the severity of the illnesses are. But generally, we say 30 days, right? Because then you really have a good time to clean the system and actually to start to do work. Now, with Canine Caviar, we don't recommend mixing our foods, right? So in the wild, a wolf would never drag around half of a chicken to mix with a rabbit the next day. And so we've never really understood why pet food should have to mix 50-50. So with Canine Caviar, you just you feed one You can feed chicken one day, you can feed lamb the next day, and all we ask is that you feed feed half ration the first day if you're switching from another brand to Canine Caviar.
Okay. Any last questions or any last comments before we let Jeff go? Thank you so much for being with us today, Jeff.
That was really informative. Thank you, Jeff.
The first one.
Thanks, Jeff, and I have a Great Dane, so I really look forward to keeping him for a while.
Yes, me too. I hope he eventually becomes the oldest.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
By all means, too.
Since it takes about 30 days to detox, for your pet to detox, are there side effects or symptoms or anything that's normal that could raise an alarm when somebody first starts their pet on Canine Caviar?
Yeah, well, generally it doesn't take 30 days to detox, but we say before you really start to notice in healthy improvements, right? I mean, sometimes you could notice them sooner, but we say 30 days to be safe. But yeah, the pet odor could actually increase, right? Because while those toxins are coming out of the body, there could be an odor that comes with it. It's like if you, as a human, you go to the spa, right, and they give you a massage. They always tell you to drink plenty of water, right, so you can detoxify over the next couple of days.
Okay, thank you.
Good
I have a
question.
question. I'm sorry.
Great.
Go ahead.
Well, I noticed that I've been detoxifying myself as well as my dog. Does that mean I'm going to have a strange odor too for 30 days?
Maybe we should ask the person sitting next to you.
Oh, goodness.
Well, thank you everyone again. Tiffany, did you have a question before we wrap up?
Wait, is she telling me?
Yes, I can do it.
Oh, we can't hear her.
Oh, very hard to hear you.
Helps if I am not muted. I just said I don't really have any questions. I just know that my boxer was suffering since she was a puppy, and this food's been a miracle, an absolute miracle. I mean, she had the stink and everything. The stink, black spots all over her skin. She was going bald. I mean, it was everything, and she's fine now.
That's really good to hear. That's what we like. Our whole goal and part of our mission is to get people to think logically again, right? I mean, we've been marketed to our entire lives, and so our whole goal as a company is to try to make people think for themselves. And once we think logically, we generally will do the right thing anyway.
Mm-hmm. Good advice. So this is the first of a whole series that Jeff would like to do for Canine Caviar and for all of you. So we definitely want to hear from you. If there are topics or questions that you would like to ask Jeff, please make those suggestions on our Facebook so that we can be sure to integrate it into a Hangout topic at a later date. So thank you everyone again for being on the very first Hangout with Jeff Baker.
Yay, great job.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Jeff. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye.